to the Red Tail Talk Show. I'm your host, Drew Holtgreave, and Dan Szewczak is with me once again. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Drew, hanging in there. Just, haven't lost my mind yet with all this quarantine going on. How about you? How you been doing?
Well, I would argue I might be losing my mind. I guess good news is my pucks have arrived, ordered some off Amazon. Hey, but made sure to disinfect it with everything I have before bringing it into the house. So we don't want people commenting saying, oh, how dare you, not disinfect everything, Yeah, no, I'm being extra careful here.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad. I don't want to see you get sick, because what am I going to do without my co-host?
Right, exactly. What would people do without us, right? So I got the pucks, they came in, and I've been doing some skating, and we're back to normal now. Ordered new netting for my net. I got some holes in it. I don't think they're from me. Again, don't have really a hard slap shot, but
well, that's why you ordered the new pucks and a new net, so you can improve.
Yeah. So we're upgrading over here in this household with the hockey equipment, going all in on hockey. But Dan, what have you been watching? Anything new? I know you do Netflix a lot. Any suggestions for the viewers out there?
Anything new? I mean, I did binge watch Tiger King essentially in 2 nights. I watched the first 2 episodes one night and then just, 5 hours straight, watched the rest of it. New episode came out over the weekend. You bet I watched that. But in other terms, another thing this weekend, so I do like Harry Potter, and there was a Harry Potter marathon on this weekend. So,
okay.
Took advantage of that, all you Harry Potter fans out there, I'm a Hufflepuff, just so everybody knows my, what house I'm in. That's world knowledge now. So I watched that, and
you heard it here first on the talk.
Here first. Other people know, but for everybody else here. That was the first time you heard it, so
Right, exclusive content. That's all we bring here, Dan.
I feel like I need to make you take the test. See which house you get sorted into.
I've not been a Harry Potter guy because I was a Star Wars guy, so I have to break the news to everybody. I don't know what house I'm in. Sorry.
Well, Drew, I haven't seen a single Star Wars, so I think we balance each other out.
My heart just broke there.
So, my girlfriend's family, they all love Star Wars too. So, like when I told them I haven't seen Star Wars, I lost some brownie points because of that. But it's fine. I mended that relationship.
You didn't want to lie and then just like watch all 6 the next night and just
no, you can't lie. You can't lie, Drew. You know that.
True. Don't lie, kids. That's what we teach on this show.
But how was your Easter, man? How was your Easter Sunday?
Yeah, happy belated Easter to everybody, obviously coming to you after it. But my Easter was me and my folks, not Zoomed, but FaceTimed some family members and checking in on everybody there. Had a pasta for kind of like a jerk chicken pasta for Easter dinner. Yeah, so it was good Easter. My parents and I have been, I asked about new shows because we've been, getting into new shows and stuff. We only have Amazon Prime over here. So we did the Jack Ryan, of course, finished that. Yep. Now we're doing The Widow. Have you ever heard of this one?
I have not. I have not heard about that. Would you recommend it?
We're only 3 episodes in, so I don't know if I can recommend it, but through the first 3, I would, because it's an interesting storyline.
All right.
But so we're searching for shows over here because, what else am I going to do, right?
Exactly. There's not a whole lot more else we can do. But, hopefully things start turning around soon. We're all hoping and praying for that. So,
so hopefully you guys stick around. We got Jimmy Slayton coming up on the talk show. For those that don't know, I would be surprised if you didn't know who this guy was. One of the best Hartford goalies in history, arguably, and signed with the Real Monarchs. So he's coming on the show in a little bit. Talk to him and play Stump the Szewczak. We'll see if he can do it. We haven't had anybody stump the Szewczak yet, Dan.
I'm confident, Drew. I think that trend is going to continue today. Just throwing
Really?
that out there. Yeah.
That's a hot take from Dan Szewczak right there. Hot take.
I believe in myself and my abilities at knowing random knowledge.
Just random names.
Random names of random categories,
Yeah. I've been brushing up on my wordplay with Scrabble. I've been playing some Scrabble recently as well.
Nice.
Not very good at it. Not very good, Dan.
Neither am I.
Words in my mind, and then my dad says, "No, that doesn't exist."
Yeah, no, Scrabble wasn't my game either. Just not very good.
I don't think I'm smart enough for it. So, anyways, well, Dan, let's bring on in Jimmy Slayton,
goalkeeper from formerly the Hartford Hawks, now with the Real Monarchs. And Jimmy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. We're excited. Tell the viewers at home, where are you coming from?
So right now I'm in Salt Lake City, like a town right outside. We're in Harriman, Utah, right across the street from the facility in my apartment. It's awesome.
Apartment with a view?
Yeah, we got the mountains on both sides. We got our stadium right across the street. We got everything.
Do we get to see, or are you not in a setup where you can see? Yeah. We're gonna just audible here. We gotta. The viewers want to see the Utah mountains.
I'll bring you out.
Okay.
Take a nice little look.
Oh boy.
Nice.
This is the balcony. We got one mountain range over there.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
And we got the stadium right across. That's our training facility in the high school for the academy, and yeah, that's what we have here.
Wow.
Sorry to make you get up, but that's a great view.
It's not a bad view to wake up to every morning. It's probably one of the best parts about being out here for sure.
Yeah, you definitely can't get any closer to the stadium and to the training facility as you are right now, so that's got to be a plus.
Yeah, it's nice. When we are actually training and everything, it's only a 2-minute walk and we're there, so it's convenient for sure.
You really can't beat that at all.
No. It's kind of like school, honestly.
So let's get into quarantine corner here. Speaking of, the times, obviously, your schedule has changed with quarantine. So what's kind of the typical day for you now with sports on hold?
So just kind of with everything on hold, we're not allowed to train in the facility. We're not allowed to go over there, but they've got us on a pretty rigid workout program right now. They have us tracked on watches to see our calorie output, like our heart rate, all this stuff, still monitor us. So usually I'll wake up, kind of relax for a little bit, go about my morning, get a little pre-workout snack. I'll go for a run, which ranges from anywhere from 2 to 5 miles a day. Get a lift in. They've supplied us with weights and stuff. So that's how I start the day, then eat a little breakfast after that. And then, it's a lot of Netflix, to be honest. But we're trying to figure out more stuff to do to fill the day. A lot of trips to Walmart, get some groceries, cook a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty much sleeping, eating, working out a little bit, occasional trip. But can't really do too much right now. I'm trying to practice social distancing. So
exactly. Yeah. So what have you been cooking yourself? You've been having a lot more free time to cook. So what's your go-to meal?
Breakfast is the same every day. I eat a bagel with peanut butter and some trail mix sprinkled on it. Kind of weird, I bet. Then I'll have like a smoothie, cereal, and what else do I have? And some oatmeal. But my go-to for cooking, I've been enjoying grilled chicken sandwiches a lot. Got a couple different Grill Master seasonings. I got a little George Foreman grill. Tiny, but hey, it gets the job done. But love grilling some chicken. That's my go-to right now.
So you mentioned Netflix. What are you binge watching anything right now, or what are you watching?
I've binge watched pretty much everything on Netflix. Finished All American season 1 and 2 already. That went by pretty fast. Good show, good watch. If anybody's interested. Mm-hmm. I've actually moved over to Amazon Prime lately. We're watching Jack Ryan.
Yes.
So gotta bring in Jim Halpert from The Office and the CIA guy.
Have you finished it yet?
I just started season 2 yesterday. So season 1 was awesome. Season 2, it's off to a good start. I definitely like it. It's a bit change of pace. It's kind of cool to see John Krasinski in that role too. So.
See, so I finished it. Not to ruin anything for you, but you see him on screen. You ever think like that's Jim Halpert? Like you can't like get it out of your mind when he makes like his little faces.
Yeah. It's kind of like when he's just kind of pissed off or like he's sad, disappointed, and just kind of got that like devastated look. It looks like Dwight just came out of the snowman and beat him up. And when him and Dwight just keep fighting, that's about all I can see.
Yeah, I keep waiting for him to like set up some prank, and he's like actually a CIA agent. So
yeah.
Have you watched Tiger King? I know that's the big Netflix series. I
started it. It seems interesting. I didn't really get too into it just because it was a bit slow, and that wasn't really what I don't know. I couldn't get right into it, but I'll probably go back and watch it.
Okay. I would. Yeah. It just gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah, our last two guests have suggested it to me because apparently Dan's seen it as well. But I'm the same, Jimmy. I don't know. Maybe it's because from out here, like in the Midwest, I'm like most people in the Northeast, they're like, oh, that actually happens. But like, see some pretty weird things out here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's not as surprising to me.
How far is that from you? Is that far away? I mean,
Oklahoma?
Right?
I mean, that's still like I don't know, like a 6 to 8 hour drive. I mean, it's not in my backyard. We don't have Tiger King in Missouri, but like you'll see some interesting characters, you know, I don't know.
Some Joe Exotics running around for sure.
Yeah. I mean, how do you like in life in Utah now? That's a kind of a jump.
It's good. It's definitely like a change of pace. It's quite a bit slower than New England. You kind of go from like the New York City attitude, like everything around New England's a bit faster paced. Out here, definitely a lot slower. But the thing I really enjoy is the whole community is like very outdoorsy. It's a very like young and upcoming community. I live in a brand new apartment complex and there's these things popping up everywhere. But I don't know, it just seems like it really embraces like the mountains, the lakes around, and it's just kind of a nice area to be around for sure, but definitely a bit slower.
It's like to kind of go with that then, how would you say your transition from being kind of like a student athlete to now a professional athlete has been?
Honestly, right now it's kind of been the same because I'm still taking classes online, so I still have the student kind of attached to my name, but it totally is different in the way that, when we were still training, I'd get up probably at 8, report time would be at 9, we'd train 10:30, we'd be done by noon, and I'd have the rest of my day. It was really different because I'm taking online classes, then I coach here, so it's a lot more free time, a lot more freedom to kind of do what you want. You're not with college sports, you're really in the system all day, every day. Like you're on the campus, you're right across from the facility. Obviously that worked out here. But it's a lot more freedom and you're not so much constantly connected to that too.
Mm-hmm. Let's kind of go back to your college career now. I would say you definitely will graduate and have been probably one of the greatest goalkeepers in Hartford Hawks history. You set a new school record this year, single season shutouts of 10 during that quarterfinal game in the playoffs against Binghamton. Did you kind of know that if you kept a shutout that game, you would set the record? Me and my back line, we were always kind of like keeping our eyes on things. We wanted to be a special group to come through. So whether it be kind of like a motivational thing for each other, just kind of like, hey, let's get it done. Like I got your back, you got my back type of thing. We always had it in the back of our mind. That wasn't ever what drove us to be out there. It was always the result, like a quarterfinal. We're like, honestly, shutout record's cool, but let's get to the semifinal. Let's not just break one program record. Let's get to the national tournament. Let's get to the conference championship and let's do that way. But it was always in the back of our minds for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then speaking of that semifinal game, 3-2 against Vermont in overtime, it looked really cold, man. We were back at Hartford getting ready for a basketball game, watching you guys, and we were cold just like sitting there watching it on the screen. So just take us through that game. And then when Nyreek scored the game winner, just the emotions that kind of went through you guys as you advanced to the final.
Yeah, I mean, all day, like we were going into that game, all of us were just like, it's supposed to snow 8 inches to a foot the night before the game. We saw the field. We saw the hotel. We almost got stuck in the parking lot in the bus. Like we knew that it was going to be a battle for sure. We were prepping that way, and we got out to the field for warmups. And I mean, my box was still frozen. They were working on the field still. They hadn't even finished cleaning it off. Like there were ice shards going into my sides and warmups. But no, that was definitely the coldest game I've ever played. But that was probably the most fun I've ever had playing, just because it was so intense. I mean, the conditions made it one way, but the way our team battled, kind of being underdogs, having a tough first go with Vermont. When Nyreek scored that goal, it was just like, wow. It was almost a relief. Like we just battled out there for probably 95, 96 minutes. And then we were like, we're going to the finals. We're going inside to get warm. We just did it somehow. And that was really special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you use any hand warmers for that game, or were you just trying to get in the mindset? So you said no hand warmers.
No, I hand warmers ruin gloves, but like either way, like I still have to roll up my sleeves. Like I got my kind of like mannerisms, I guess you could say, and wearing long sleeves, wearing too many layers is never going to be my look. I'll never wear leggings or anything. It's just kind of like, you just kind of have to be mentally prepared and be like, all right, like this has to get done. The bench did have heaters, like open flames pretty much. So any little break we got was nice, except my gloves kind of caught fire for a very brief second. It was so warm. Like I was putting them there, and then they're white, so it shows pretty easy. And they just round over, and I was like, okay, I just
got too close
like
to the
nice
flame, man.
my glove off.
Did you have a backup pair, or were you close to asking Evan to use his?
It was only small, so I figured I could finish the game up with him. It was all right. That was like right before overtime, so I was too focused, too locked in to bother with it. But it was fun.
The adrenaline probably helps there too. Taking the mind off the cold.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and Vermont always has a good atmosphere. Like it was freezing cold, but they still had guys behind the goal chirping me pretty much all game. It was still a really good atmosphere. And we weren't fond of each other this season after they said some things back when they beat us at home. We were ready to go get them, so it wasn't. There were plenty of different motives behind us just being like, I don't feel the cold. I mean, we literally went numb too, so we couldn't feel much, but.
Just a few accolades for you after the season. Named the all-conference second team. We personally thought you were a lock for the first team, but we won't go into that. And then outside, off the field in the classroom, fall scholar athlete. I mean, that's very impressive. Showing that you not only put in the work on the field but also in the classroom. So can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, both were really nice. I mean, obviously, you always want to be first team. You want to get that. And of course, I was a little hurt by that. I mean, I always want to be the best, and I'm always going to strive to be the best, but that was just fuel to be better. That was more fuel to prove everybody, oh, well, I'm going to go do more than I'm going to go get back after it. And that helped. That came out before the tournament, and that motivated me for the tournament. As for the scholar athlete thing, for me, school and soccer, I mean, soccer's always been a bit more important, but school's always been an important part of my life. Because you have to have a backup plan. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I'm in the position I'm in, but even this, it could be gone any day. And whether there be an injury, whether there be bad luck, whatever it might be, I wanted to prepare myself for a good career in business or whatever else I may pursue. So I tried to take a lot of pride in my academic section of things, and I think that's a really good thing for all student athletes to do, just because you never know what's going to work out. And honestly, when you're going into college, you're more likely to get academic scholarship than athletics. So it's just really good to have in your bag of tricks, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And I just got one more question before I toss over to Drew to talk a little bit about some FIFA and other stuff. But I saw you won the Barney business pitch competition that University of Hartford has. Like, what business did you pitch? Like,
yeah, so that was for our class. We had to do it, and I spent a lot of time basically constructing a business that was I like to think of it as the Uber of coaching. So kind of like an on-demand training type of thing. So whether you be a coach or a player, you basically join this database and you try and find a coach that suits your needs, and you try and find an athlete that you want to coach, and you kind of map it all out. I mean, it's a very early stage idea. Business competition, it didn't really require it to have too much hard data behind it. I'm not starting it anytime soon. I don't have that type of money, but yeah, it was fun to kind of mess around with that and kind of write out a business plan. And it might be something in the future that I try and pursue, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a cool idea to me. I would use it. If it was that.
Yeah, I like the idea. You know, maybe we'll all go in together. You know.
Yeah. I need partners. I need funding.
Yeah. So, businessman, soccer player, student, and now apparently FIFA player.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we got to talk about this. The Hartford men's soccer team, for those that don't know, kind of took on Fairfield in a little FIFA tournament. It was 4 against 4, right?
5-on-5, yeah.
5-on-5. Okay, all right, yeah. So 5-on-5, right? And the Hawks won that, right? You guys were 3-1-1, I believe.
Yeah. 3-1-1.
3-1-1, and Jimmy, you won 2-0. So we got to know, like, what's the deal there? Who did you know who you were playing? Or did it not matter?
No, I actually had no idea who I was playing. I didn't really find out too much in advance that I was playing. It's nice that the guys and I still keep in good contact, and they're like, we were trying to figure out which system because everybody's better on PS4 or Xbox. I'm an Xbox guy. Some of the other guys are PlayStation guys, and we found out that 3 of the 5 games had to be on Xbox. And like, all right, Jimmy, we need you. And I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I love my FIFA.
Yeah.
But so Narik went first, got us off to a rough start, dropped the first one, actually rage quit, which was unbelievable to see on Instagram Live. Everything just went dark, and we were just like, did he just do that? But when it came around to my time, I had to swing it in our favor. Connor Axos got us the first win, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And I got matched up with this random guy on Fairfield, and I had to show him how to do it.
Yeah, well, so what were the teams? Like, who'd you go with, or was it random teams?
So you could be anybody you wanted. I ended up being PSG because he took Liverpool. I was going to play as Liverpool. So I was a bit upset. I was already a bit upset before the game. But yeah, I took PSG. Yeah, you might say they're a little overpowered, but he took my team. So I had to do it.
Those are 2 pretty good teams right there. It seems evenly matched. But what was your game plan? Or do you have a game plan in FIFA, or are you just just hitting buttons?
I try and play it fairly realistically. I try and move the ball around, kind of try and draw them a bit higher. And then you have Mbappe and Neymar with PSG and Di Maria. So you got some pace going. So I'd kind of play around with it in the back, play with my center mids, and then end up trying to hit them as a target and build up through the front. But I try and play FIFA fairly realistically as if it was like a real game. Some guys like to just knock it forward. I don't know if that's you right there, Dale. But that's me when I'm losing. Right. Okay, that's fair. Everybody's got to you got to put it on ultra attacking, and you got to just go. You got to
just kick it and pray.
Yeah. But no, I've played FIFA for forever. That's my go-to game pretty much all the time. And I honestly, I'm a little bit too into it, but I've learned how to change all the tactics and stuff to kind of suit what I want and suit the players I've got. So I try
making it more realistic.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So, congrats on the win and helping the Hawks beat Fairfield, and the lack of sports right now, this is what we got to cling to here is Jimmy Slayton playing FIFA. Fantastic. Great win. And now we would like to get into a little game with you on this show that we call Stump the Szewczak. Have you heard of it?
I think I have.
Yeah. Okay. All so speaking of Szewczak over here. Okay. So Dan has, well, first off, we got 3 categories that we let you pick from, and then you went with car brand. So Dan has previously done this category, actually did it this morning, got 13. So 13 is your number to beat. And to explain a little more for the viewers at home, so you're trying to beat Dan, because if you beat Dan, you get 5 extra bonus points. But then on the side, we're keeping track of all of our previous guests. So right now, you got 15 is the number to beat over there. So just beating Dan is kind of the incentive one to, beat Dan, because, we all like beating Dan. And
it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been done yet. So maybe you could be our first, but then get those extra 5 points. So with that being said, I will get my timer ready. Do you have any questions before we start, Jimmy?
How long do I get?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay. Oh, man.
20 seconds, as many car brands as you can. Dan will count, and I will have the timer.
All right. Good.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Subaru, Honda, Toyota, Acura, Infiniti, Toyota, Nissan, Lexus, Range Rover, Ford, Chevy, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Renault is a French one, Jaguar, Mini.
Time.
Drew,
What do you get?
He got 15. He said Toyota twice, but it still is 15.
Oh, 15, the first ever.
He did it.
The Szewczak.
He did it.
Wow.
Wow, you are having a day.
Right now.
So Drew, if I'm not mistaken, that's 5 bonus points. So Jimmy, you've really set a score of 20. That is going to be a tough number to beat.
Jimmy's not only stumped the Szewczak, he's going to get the 5 extra bonus points, and you're going to be first on our leaderboard. So congrats, Jimmy, and a heck of a performance there.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
You threw me for a loop with the French brand one. I was like, I've never heard of that before. Well, he verified, and he said it counts. So we went to the booth for the replay.
Fantastic.
On further review. Well, Jimmy, thank you for joining us. This was a great time. We enjoyed catching up and seeing the view of the mountains out there. We hope that you stay safe and stay healthy in the rest of this self-isolation time.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was it's nice to add to my little daily schedule and not just watch Netflix all day.
Well, thank you for fitting us in.
Yeah, we're glad we could help you out with that. So.
Once again, we'd like to thank Jimmy Slayton for joining the show. Had a real fun time, and I was shocked as ever. He stumped the Szewczak there, Dan. Stumped you.
Yeah, earlier on in the show, I said I got this, and I didn't have it. Jimmy just he stumped me. He stumped the Szewczak, becoming the first person. I was trying to keep my streak alive more than 2 weeks, but all good things have to come to an end. So
yeah, real cold take out of you there earlier in the show, Dan. I don't know if I can trust you now for like any. I was just too confident. I was just too confident in myself. But I won't make that mistake again. Hey, I like the confidence though. I like the confidence.
Thank you. But
yeah, we had a real fun time, and we want to thank you guys for joining the show. And remember to hit that subscribe button. Because if you are a true Hawks fan, all the way through to your core, they hit the subscribe button. In addition, any comments, feedback, anything at all, we'd love to hear what you guys maybe want to see or what you've liked that you have seen. If you want to see more Ginger, I don't know, pretty we'll see. But let us know in those comments down there because that's really the only way we can get your feedback. So
exactly. And don't forget, guys, if you can't view us on YouTube, the audio version of the podcast is still out there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the Anchor app. Anywhere you get your podcasts, that's where you will find Drew and I. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone, but more importantly, go Hawks.